What's going on, guys? So today is going to be very casual. I don't have any kind of script. I don't have a real theme. Originally, when I popped these clips in, the concept of the video was going to be Pilots vs. Titan. The final round, because I've already done a couple of these. I think if you go back through my videos, you see how I play the game and you've seen how I improve. So by this point, I feel I have a fair grasp of what it takes to take on Titans and what it means to be a Titan and then go up against pilots. I have a good sense of what works, what doesn't, what should be, and what isn't. But that's not really what this video is going to be about. I decided to kind of change the format because I don't want to just talk about the game today. I want to talk a little bit about what am I doing. Because this has been probably 12 months of consistent YouTubing, and I'm just trying to like come into my own. Like I feel that I've changed a lot in the sense that I don't want to just do guides. I kind of went into this kick of trying to have unique themes. Some scripted, some not, some gameplay. I've kind of really gotten into the routine of playing some music in front of some clips. For some reason, it pumps me up personally to hear it as I'm talking and then seeing the clips. It kind of just makes it completely different than, you know, just a clip, because I originally recorded it. Like today, I have not actually looked at too much. That's pretty cool, and as cool as that looks, that's actually not that hard to do anymore. And this is something. This is cool because, see that? That reminds me of RoboCop. Remember when RoboCop takes out that big guy with that big gun, and then his foot's just like left twitching? That's what that reminds me of. Concept of this clip was to be like, pilots are really fast, but Titans are very powerful. And sometimes being like super fast, real fancy, it just does not get you anywhere. What are you gonna do, eh? Let's get the hell out of these bushes, see what's going on. I haven't really looked too much at the clips. I thought we'd do this one a little bit blind. I remember this though. Eee. At that point when I missed the first one, I'm like, I could just give up and start shooting, or I can just continue to grapple, and I ended up being like, I'm just gonna continue to grapple, and it works out really well. I've always said this, it's the small moments, because there's so many times in between a gunfight where I'm like, oh, I just give up, he's beating me, when there's usually a play to be made. I'm gonna do a complete video on this. This is still the best advice. It doesn't matter what you do, just do it fast. Do it fast and assess the damage or whatever went right later. You gotta start just making decisions quickly. I remember the point of this clip though was supposed to be that as you're trying to take Titans out in the backfield, these guys have been trying to stack up Titans the whole game. They actually had a sweet setup. I think I showed it right at the beginning of the video, but they had a Tone right there to the left in that door with a shield. It covers the whole entrance, and he was just holding down the center. Like, that's ridiculously strong. And for some players, you're going to be like, that's so cheap, and to me, it is. But again, that's a scrub mentality. If you want to be really good, you just have to accept these things. To me, that's not what gaming's all about, so I prefer more style. I like having these cool interactions with people, and I like seeing that come through in the game. I know when you repeatedly start killing people or they start killing you, like, they start recognizing your name, and that there's a small bond for a game. And Titanfall, that can spread through to a few games, and I just think that's really cool. That's why I like gaming. That's why I only play multiplayer. I never finished this campaign. I have not finished a COD campaign in God knows how long. Like, I just don't play campaigns. I don't care for single player. I like the human element to it. Rise, I think, is still one of my favorite levels. Even when Titans want to hang out in the back of the map, I feel like you have a good chance, and this level just, it has a lot of the cool things. Indoors, outdoors, zip lines, lots of zip lines, really cool places to do wall jumping. Oh, I love that. This is when you know you're screwed. Look at the bar. They have almost all their Titans up. There's 4 of them. I was looking at 2. The other ones weren't too far. This may actually be a continuation of the last game. But I've gotten a little bit more effective as a pilot versus Titan. It's so easy for him to just use his rockets and cluster missile that. I'm pretty sure that's what he was thinking. I saw that from a mile away. It's funny because a lot of the times that I die, it's because I'm caught thinking about it. I'm like, is this what they're gonna do? And for some reason I doubt myself, or I just don't do it because I'm lazy. I'm like, it's so much easier to just stand here than to use the sticks. You'd be surprised how much of gaming is actually just people getting lazy. It takes a lot to continuously do action. In the Grenadier, the last video, the one with the Grenadiers, in that one, when I do that EPG shot where I throw a gravity star at him and then go around the corner, to come out that smooth, to me that's actually a moment. That's when you know exactly what you're going to be doing before you're doing it. If not, it ends up looking clunky. I think people that are pretty good at the game can recognize when people are like moving reactively versus moving in the moment and like looking ahead to see what's going to happen. By the way, for those of you interested, this clip had to do with what does it mean to be 2 versus 1 if you just have your Titan as an auto Titan. How good is that strategy? Technically, it means you're 2 versus 1, right? That sounds pretty good right off the bat. If Pilot versus Titans are pretty even, then like this should put you over the top, so it should be a valid strategy. And I've seen some auto Titans do crazy things, like get sniped out by Ion, been hit by a cluster missile in midair. Archer rockets, I've actually been killed by a few of them. I don't know how I get into those scenarios where that happens. Okay, that's not entirely true. I do know what happens is they have a lock on me, and for some reason I think I'm so sneaky that I'm gonna have enough time to get out of my Titan, do whatever I'm thinking, or get back into it, and end up getting hit with an Archer rocket. And right now I feel like I know exactly what I'm gonna do. You have to go straight to a pullback, if not you would have been hit underneath that structure. This guy should be somewhere around here. One shot, don't even think about him after that. Ooh, that was close. I think this is actually pretty good. In the moment, I'm like, he is gonna hit me with those rockets. That's what Monarch always kills me with. I'm like, come on, come on, come on, come on. Ah! Can't believe that worked. I remember laughing my head off there. And it was one of those moments where I'm like, Pilot 1, Titan 0. For some reason, all my Titan kills are never quite as epic as my Pilot kills. My Pilot versus Titan kills are way more epic than my Pilot versus Titan kills. Did I say that right? Titan versus Pilot? Yeah. Those aren't as epic. Well, sure, then this has to happen and you're like, come on. It's like, yeah, alright, this is pretty epic. Just in a different sense. But this is kind of how I feel when I play as a Titan. And I'm like, I am such a big guy, and I'm looking at this building, I'm like, what is this? A hospital for ants? You guys are gonna need to run away from me. And honestly, I don't even think that hospital's big enough to host all the people I could kill as a pilot. And you may be like, why are you whiffing so many laser shots? I'll be honest, as a Titan, I mainly just fist guys. I know that sounds weird, maybe it's my fetish, but if not, I try to like quick scope them, or I try to throw a lot more of their ordinances back at them these days if they're silly enough to just like challenge me like this. And sometimes it's just a joke between like two people. You're like, okay, well, it's relatively easy to dodge as well. It's kind of funny. Out in the open, it's a different story, but it's funny both ways, right? Like, I'm not saying that strategy's OP. It's just funny. That's why I like doing it. Same with people grabbing my battery. I've shown this in different videos. If you change your sensitivity up a little bit, if you're somebody on the lower spectrum, you can just do a 180 with a Titan and punch somebody if you know your timings. But this is more so what I like to do these days. Is throw people's rockets back at them. And like I said, I like to fist people. I like to give them a little bit as a chance because I still think I'm a little bit too powerful if I take my Titan serious. I'm not trying to do a humble brag here, but that's just how I feel when I play it. This video is like, I could keep adding to this video because again, I'm just chilling today, but that, we're just gonna call it. But before I go, I do want to say, what am I gonna be doing on the channel, because I've just been, I don't know. I'm consistent, but I'm not sure what I'm doing yet. So what we're gonna be picking up on is actually Fortnite, because Fortnite is such a good game. It's just such a good game. Like, that game doesn't even need promoting, okay? Like, it's just such a good game. It's like, this is something that is self-evident. Fortnite is a great game. And that's what we're going to be picking this up on. After that, Titanfall, I'm maybe putting this on the back burner. I may be putting on some Titanfall on the back burner. Why? Because I guess it's getting a little bit stale again. I did take that hiatus for a while, and I think I may have to take another one until I hear a little bit more about this game in regards to Titanfall 3. So I may be moving on to some other games for a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of how I feel at the moment. This is kind of one of the things that I like to do at the end. I originally talked about this as the Hunter series because this was about setting up for people at the evac. I have a pretty good idea where you're gonna need to go, bro. I'll be waiting. Crouching Tiger, Flying Pilot, grapple! Yeah, boy. Alright, now I'm really out. Have a good one.